Welcome to GOC43 product training. GOC43 training number 5 is about using digital I/O extension units in GOC43. In this training, we will learn about various digital I/O extension units available in GOC43 and how to use them. Purpose of this training program is to provide understanding about PLC program development using digital I/O extension units. Let's see contents of this training program. We will start with different variants of digital I/O extension units supported by GOC43 and their specifications. After that, we will see how to configure digital I/O extension unit in GOC43 project. After configuration, we will see how to check I/O mapping of digital I/O extension units in PLC application. Subsequently, we will see I/O assignment of digital I/O points. In this, we will change symbolic names of I/O points. After that, we will see system variables related to I/O extension units. We will also see how we can check I/O extension unit health in system menu and status of I/O points in I/O monitoring screens. And at last, we will write a simple application using I/O points from digital I/O extension unit. This is backside view of GOC43 main unit. You can see two I/O extension slots here. I/O1 and I/O2. You can add I/O extension modules here to enhance I/O capacity of main unit. Various I/O extension unit options are available with digital I/Os as well as analog I/Os. 3 digital I/O extension units are available to enhance digital I/O capacity of GOC43. GC-8EX-ES. This unit provides 8 digital inputs. GC-6EYR-ES. This unit provides 6 relay outputs. GC-8ET-ESS. This unit provides 4 digital inputs and 4 digital outputs. Let's see details of these units. First module is GC-8EX-ES. This module provides 8 digital input points. You can add this module in I/O extension slot 1, or I/O extension slot 2, or in both I/O extension slots as per requirement. These are specifications of the module. Module provides 2 groups of digital inputs. Each group can provide 4 digital inputs. Note that all inputs comes with default filter time of 10 milliseconds. All inputs are provided with optical isolation between input and internal bus. Status indication is provided in I/O monitor screen on LCD. Depending on connections, inputs groups can work as sink type or source type. In diagram shown here, Group 1 of input pins I00 to I03 is connected for source type and Group 2 of I04 to I07 is connected for sink type inputs. Second module is GC-6EYR-ES. This module provides 6 relay output points. You can add this module in I/O extension slot 1 or I/O extension slot 2 or in both I/O extension slots as per requirement. These are specifications of the module. Module provides 2 groups of relay outputs. Each group can provide 3 relay outputs. Each relay output provides non-latching normally open contact. Voltage rating of contact terminal is 24 to 250 volt AC or 5 to 30 volt DC. Current rating is 500 mA per point or 1.5 ampere per group. Status indication is provided in I/O monitor screen on LCD. Diagram shows connection details for relay outputs. Note that module requires external 24-volt DC supply for operation of relays. Third module is GC-8ET-ESS. This module provides 4 digital input points and 4 digital output points. You can add this module in I/O extension slot 1 or I/O extension slot 2 or in both I/O extension slots as per requirement. These are specifications of the module. Depending on connections, inputs can work as sink type or source type. All inputs comes with default filter time of 10 milliseconds. Type of output is transistor source type. Note current rating of output is 1.5 ampere per output. Status indication is provided in I/O monitor screen on LCD. Diagram shows connection details for digital inputs and digital outputs. Module supports sink as well as source type input connections. Digital outputs are connected as source type. Note that module requires external 24-volt DC supply for operation of digital outputs. Now we will learn configuration of digital I/O extension unit in Codesys project. First we will add module in I/O extension slot. There are two ways of adding module to slot. In first method, in device tree, right-click on I/O extension slot and then select option Plug Device. Plug Device dialog shows all available I/O extension units which can be fixed in selected slot. Select I/O extension unit. Here we will select GC8XES unit. And click Plug Device and close the dialog. In second method, double-click on Main Unit Device. Go to Hardware Configuration tab. Here you can see backside view of main unit. You can see GC8XS we have just added in I/O extension slot 1. We will add GC6EYRES in I/O extension slot 2. To add module, right-click on I/O extension slot 2 and select Plug Device option. Plug Device dialog will show all I/O extension units available to add. Select module you want to add and click Plug Device and close the dialog. In next step, we will understand I/O mapping of digital I/O extension units. This is default I/O mapping in GOC43. Here you can see IB12 and IB13 from input memory and QB12 and QB13 from output memory are reserved for I/O extension slot 1, whereas IB14 and IB15 from input memory and QB14 and QB15 from output memory are reserved for I/O extension slot 2. Let's check I/O mapping of modules just added in project. To view I/O mapping of extension unit, double-click on extension unit to open its device editor. This is device editor for GC-8EX-ES. I/O mapping tab shows I/O points of extension unit. Since extension unit is added in I/O extension slot 1, its digital inputs are mapped to address starting at IB12. Memory locations IB13, QB12 and QB13 remains unused. Individual input points can be seen below digital inputs group. Similarly, I/O mapping of GC-6EYR-ES can be seen in its device editor. Here, since extension unit is added in I/O extension slot 2, its relay outputs are mapped to address starting at QB14. In input memory, status of 24-volt DC supply at extension unit is provided at address %IX14.7. Remaining input and output points remain unused. All unused input points remain off during PLC program execution. Switching on unused output points will have no effect as they are not updated to any hardware. Now we will learn adding symbolic names to I/O points of extension units. Instead of accessing I/O point using its address, it is easy to access it using meaningful symbolic name. When you add extension unit in Codesys project, All I/O points are assigned with default symbolic names. Like here, first digital input of extension unit GC-8EX-ES has default symbolic name as _DI_IOE1_0. You can change this default symbolic name as per actual signal connected at I/O point in your application. Let's take an example where a start push button is connected at this input point. To change symbolic name of I/O point, double-click on I/O point symbolic name and type in new symbolic name. We will change symbolic name to start PB. Symbolic names are validated like variable name in Codesys. Similarly, we will change symbolic name of first relay output on extension unit GC-6EYR-ES as pump motor. You can change symbolic name for all I/O points of digital extension unit like this. Now we will write simple application program to turn on relay output connected to pump motor when start push button is pressed. This will demonstrate how to use digital I/O point from extension unit in PLC code. Let's add NO contact for start push button. To assign start push button input to this contact, you can simply type in variable name as start PB. You can also select required symbolic name from Input Assistance. To open Input Assistance dialog, click Input Assistance button above Contact. This will open Input Assistant dialog. This dialog contains all variables declared in application. All symbolic names from I/O points are grouped together in variable list, io_config_globals_mapping. Select required symbolic name from the list. Here we will select Start PB. Similarly, add a coil for pump motor output and assign symbolic name to it. That's all about using digital I/O points from extension unit in PLC code. Now we will see how to check status of I/O extension unit in PLC code. GOC43 provides different system variables to check health of the controller. System variables can be seen in IO config globals variable list in Input Assistant dialog. Here you will find a variable _sysvar CPU. You will find an element W_IO error here. This variable provides bitwise error status of all hardware units configured in project. Bit 5 of this variable provides IO error status of extension unit connected in slot 1, whereas bit 6 of this variable provides IO error status of extension unit connected in slot 2. Also bit 1 provides status of COM extension unit here. Refer GOC43 user manual for more details. Respective bit will turn on when unit configured in slot is not communicating or different unit is detected. You can write application code like this to check status of IO extension unit in PLC code. You can also see status of IO extension units in System menu screen of GOC43. To enter into System menu, press F2 key on main unit for 3 seconds. Now navigate to Extension Info tab. Here you can see status of COM extension slot as well as IO extension slots. Screen shows ordering code of configured unit, ordering code of extension unit present in slot and status of the unit. Status of unit is shown as OK or error. In addition to IO extension unit status monitoring, you can also monitor status of digital IO points on LCD screen. You need to enter IO monitor screen for this purpose. To enter into IO monitor screen, press F1 key on main unit for 3 seconds. On first IO monitor screen, you can see status of main unit and IO extension units. You can also monitor status of keys and LED and COM extension unit on Next I/O monitor screen. Refer GOC43 user manual for more details. That's all about digital I/O extension units in GOC43. Thank you. Share your valuable feedback on GOC training feedback@asia.meap.com.